Okay, I got something nasty to say. In college or in school, when I was younger, shit didn't really matter. You could make excuses about pretty much anything. Oh, well, I couldn't make it to this acting class today because I had this and that. When you're younger, excuses, you can make them all day long. But when you go into the real world, when you have to make a living, if you are somebody who, like me, did not have a trust fund and your parents aren't financing your lifestyle at all, and you got student loans and you got car debt and you cannot afford to just like fuck up your adulthood. If you're in that situation, it's a real wake up call. You cannot give in to an excuses mindset. When I was destitute and an absolute popo at the age of 22, I learned that right away. It was like, ain't nobody have time. Nobody's gives a shit about your excuses. You either did the shit good and did it right and get rewarded and recognized and get ahead in your career, or you are literally going to fail. Like when I was 22, I was running my family's restaurant because they had left. I had to manage my family's house. I had to manage our mortgage. I had to keep the restaurant alive, something a 22-year-old had to do with no real support every day, working 7 days a week for more than 12 hours a day for 8 months straight. That was my life. And that's real. Like in the real world, you actually have to deliver. And then when I became a salesperson when I was 23 years old, and thank God I didn't have to work at that restaurant forever, when I became a salesperson, that's when the game really went up another level. Nobody gives a shit about your excuses. You can't get a client. You don't know how to find candidates for the role because I'm a headhunter. Oh, so you couldn't get a job to work on? You couldn't get a client to sign off on using you? Oh, you couldn't get candidates for the role that you just landed? Nobody gives a shit about your excuses because if you can't deliver, you're not going to get paid. It's a sales job, baby. You can't get paid if you can't deliver. You got to deliver to get paid, especially in recruitment, in agency recruitment, as a headhunter. You get paid in arrears, by the way. So you don't get paid in advance. You get paid in arrears. You get a shitty base salary and you get commissions. If you can't deliver and make that delivery stick, as in the candidate has to work out for 90 days, because you know your fee is at risk. That's how headhunting works. But my point here is when you get to a certain point in your life, excuses are not going to cut it. You're not going to succeed. You are never going to become a millionaire because millionairedom, if you want to get there, excuses is not what's going to get you there. That's the nasty thing I have to say tonight.